Welcome to the Retro Video Store Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the Retro Video Store Podcast. I'm your host, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
And that's my co-host, Neil.
I'm Neil. And who, just because he's out there doing a job that is necessary and possibly even dangerous and physically taxing, or maybe somewhere where he's not getting cellular service, has decided not to say anything? Who's that?
It's Dave. Dave has been on like radio silence for the last 3 weeks. I haven't heard shit from him. So, yeah. I think he's more animal than man right now, in a feral state, just living with the wildlife.
Sounds like you're writing his dating profile. I'm Dave, a little more animal than man.
I like Mexican food, a little more animal than man. I secrete pheromones at a heightened level. Hope you like that. Yeah.
Mexican food.
Yeah. So today we are talking about Jaws 2 from 1978 because it's the middle of the summer and Jaws is a middle of the summer type movie. And we did Jaws, the original, a couple years ago. Might as well hit Jaws 2. It's pretty entertaining. The first half of the movie, they could have cut it down big time. But the second half is kind of fun. But before we jump into that, let's do what we always do. Neil, what did you watch this week?
So I had a lot of shit to do at the house. So I've showed you ton of manual labor. So when I got done, I was basically exhausted. I just sort of came in and sat down and fell asleep right where I sat. We did watch a couple of movies. Watched Superbad.
Good, classic.
My son's suggestion, he wanted to watch Superbad. I forgot how freaking funny that was. We watched The Purge 3. Sammy loves the Purge movies. The Purge 3 isn't bad. It's not bad, and Sammy really loves them, so we watch them. Except for the Forever Purge, she hates that one. We don't watch that one. Jaws 2 we watched, and I think the other 3 nights we caught up on House of the Dragon, because those are like hour-long episodes.
Yeah, I hear that's good. I hear it's really good.
It is very good. And then I'd forgotten some shit. So then the couple nights I went back and like IMDb'd and looked up in ChatGPT, like what happened here? What episode was that? And then rewatched episodes from the other seasons just so I could kind of catch up on it.
Get a refresher.
Yeah. So you said you watched a shit ton before we started recording?
I've watched so many movies over the last week. It's not even funny. Friday the 13th has been on a lot. So I have watched either part or all of Friday the 13th, the original, all of part 2, probably most of part 3, part 4, 5, and 7. For some reason, 6 has not been on, but I've watched all those. Still love the series. 5, the New Blood, not the 5, the new Beginning with the fake Jason was actually a little more entertaining than I remembered. I kind of enjoyed it. There's a lot of nudity in that one, man. That's just pure, just really gratuitous nudity in that movie.
Okay, was this a statement of fact or a complaint?
No, statement of fact. No complaining by me.
Okay, well, just checking.
Complaining, but there's just it's kind of funny how the movies are way more free with the nudity. You don't really see much nudity in movies now. It just doesn't seem to be that common, or maybe the movies that I've been watching, that doesn't seem to be that many, not as gratuitous as it was in the 80s. Speaking of gratuitous, and I must go on a little bit of a tangent, this morning, for some reason, I was watching a thing about Italian horror movies, and there's one called Burial Ground, which is supposed to be really, really weird. So I added that to my watch list. Didn't watch it, but for some reason, this is on Tubi, by the way, Angel caught my eye, and I wound up watching Angel, all an hour and a half of a girl who is a schoolgirl by day, prostitute by night, and there is a killer running around killing prostitutes in Los Angeles, and she has to take the law into her own hands and kill the killer. And damn it, I'm going to say it was pretty good. It was way better than it had any right to be. I was actually like compelled by the movie. So I think the reason that I got onto that is one of the girls from Jaws 2, the girl who screams all the time. There's a lot of girls that scream all the time, but the girl Donna Wilkes, and she kind of had the short kind of Dorothy Hamill haircut. If you look at her, she is in she plays Angel in the movie Angel, and she was in Jaws 2. But she was one of the girls that just freaked out on the raft, and they thought the guy was going to beat her because she was screaming so much. But she plays Angel. And the interesting thing about Angel is that she has like a makeshift group, like a makeshift family on Sunset Strip. One guy is played by Rory Calhoun, and he's like this aged gunfighter cowboy actor who can't find any work anymore, so he does like pistol tricks on the strip. He gets paid for it, and she's got like two hooker friends, of course, die by the killer. And then there's like a transvestite guy, and they are so open and welcoming and unassuming and like he's just who he is, and he's kind of heroic. He's like the father figure in a weird way to Angel and stuff like that. I'm like, man, that is pretty forward thinking for 1984. And it is. I'm surprised how much I enjoyed it. I have not seen the sequel, Avenging Angel or Angel 3, but I remember as a kid, this was on HBO because HBO paid like $4 million for it after it was like a really small micro budgeted movie. It was done by New World Pictures, formerly Roger Corman owned New World Pictures, but it was really, really inexpensive, but it made $17 million at the box office and a shitload more on VHS and on cable. And I remember my sister and I were both really young because this came out in 84, so it must have been on HBO a year later, so 85. So I'm like 12 watching this movie when I have absolutely no reason to watch this movie. My sister's 13 and we're watching this movie, and it really impacted this because this was pure exploitation sleaze movie. And the funny thing is that you never see Angel in undress or anything like that because she plays a 15-year-old character. The actress was like 24, but she's a 15-year-old prostitute. Mm-hmm. But you see a shitload of other nudity in the movie, and even like hinted at necrophilia by the bad guy. And damn it, I will say for an hour and 30 minutes, I was compelled by Angel so much that I'm like, should we do this for the podcast? But then I'm like, nobody will listen to it because
I don't think I ever saw it, but I completely 100% remember that cover.
Yeah. Where it's the girl back to back. It's the same girl, she's wearing her schoolgirl outfit and then she's wearing her streetwalker outfit. And maybe we will do it in like August or something like that. But it's on Tubi for free to watch. But I cannot recommend, if you like sleazy movies and something that's just trashy, watch Angel because it is a hoot and a holler, as they say.
Well, she was in Tomboy.
Oh, she was in Tomboy too as well, huh?
Private School. Oh yeah, dude, I remember that face.
Donna Wilkes, yeah. Yeah, she was in Jaws 2, Almost Summer, Hard Knocks, Schizoid, Angel. She was on lots of TV shows, The Incredible Hulk, episode Alice in Disco Land, TJ Hooker. So yeah, but it was a hoot. So if you want to watch something that is just tremendously sleazy, check out Angel. It's on Tubi and on Peacock, so your two free movie services. And I will laud Tubi because if I'm looking for a trashy movie and I'm like, maybe it's on Tubi, it's there. It's usually there.
No, you know what's great to do with Tubi? And sometimes I won't even watch movies. I'll just type in on the search, just type in a word.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just flip through. I'll pick up like a magazine, a book. I'll find a word at random. I'll type it into Tubi, hit enter, and just look through the movies that propagate.
Yeah.
They've got some fucked up stuff on Tubi. It's awesome.
I was sick like last month or the month before. I was sitting in bed. I mean, on the couch, and I looked up. I just decided to look up Sylvia Crystal, famous European softcore actress, and they had a surprising amount of Sylvia Crystal movies on Tubi. Lady Chatterley's Lover and some other more crazy movies. But yeah, there's a lot of really scandalous movies on Tubi. So Tubi, you're doing the service to mankind. You're free, and you have minimal ads, and you've got a lot of crap. And that's I salute you, Tubi. I salute you.
He was sick, but somehow his Apple Watch said he did like 50,000 steps that day.
Yes. No, I didn't. Sometimes you just want to see weird stuff, and then that's usually when I watch the weird, like European, like I have all sorts of really kind of scandalous European softcore on Tubi. And I'm just like, oh, I'll start watching like 10 to 15 minutes of it, see if it gets my attention. Usually they don't, because they're very slow.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's very unkempt, as we say. Grooming standards are different.
For those of you that are listening, of course, on the podcast, Eric's been winking this whole time. Wink, wink, wink.
So before we turn off the audience and they just immediately turn us off, let's talk about Jaws 2 from 1978. You want to hit us with the Internet Movie Database tagline?
Police Chief Brody must protect the citizens of Amity after a second monstrous shark begins terrorizing the water, because what are the chances?
Well, and I'll already talk about this, and I'm sure probably you have probably thought about this too, is why doesn't the town council
fucking believe him?
Little bit of credit,
a little bit of faith in Brody. The guy pulled you guys out of the shitter, man. He saved lives. And then that was the single most frustrating bit of watching that movie, was just the character. Even the biggest dumbass would have been like, you know what, maybe we'll go check something out, but to just dismiss it. But I don't know, living through what we're living through now, I 100% believe that. It's something I would not have believed a few years back.
I think the public has a very short memory, and it's always, what have you done for me lately? And they're willing to put their head in the sand and not believe what's going on. So they're more apt not to believe you. So that part is very is realistic, I think. Also, that you would reelect a scandalized politician.
What?
And just pretty much forgive him for
what?
It. The mayor is still the mayor.
Or let's say the mayor was a convicted felon and also convicted of sexual assault.
Yeah, found legally liable for that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It sounds like fiction. That could never happen in real life.
Well, don't you think that what is the lady whose son got killed in the first one? The Kittners? Is it the Kittner kid? The one that the lady she wears all black and she slapped Brody in the first movie.
I remember that.
I bet you there is a fucking lawsuit going on. She's going to own the Amity Police Department and the city after they find them negligent in their duties, because they were super negligent in their duties in the first movie.
You said duties.
Duties, yes.
You said duties. Good for you.
Released June 16th of 1978. Director Jeanot Sork was the director, and I don't think he's done anything else. I was looking up at him, and there was a bunch of scandals when it comes to the casting and directing of the movie. There was a lot. They kicked out the first director, so he did Extreme Close Up, a movie called Bug, which is a horror movie. Look at that. There's like a bug on this phone and this lady screaming at this hilarious poster, 1975 Bug. Somewhere in Time. That's a good movie with Christopher Reeve.
Oh, yeah, that's a great
Jane
movie.
Seymour.
It's a really good movie.
Martin Sheen movie. Did Supergirl. Speaking of timeliness, he did the 1984 Supergirl, Santa Claus the movie, Honor Bound, and a couple of French movies. And then he did a lot of TV movies. Lots of TVs. TV episodes. And apparently he died in 2025 at an age of 85. So he had a long career. Let's take a little digression. Are you going to see Supergirl?
I'm thinking about it. I really am. But the thing is here's the thing. Is the movie that bad, or were people just expecting a masterpiece? But then people tend to shit on the movie just if the protagonist is a female.
Yeah, I think it's a victim of online brigading where people are already assuming the movie sucks before it even comes out, and that she's not like, some 5'11" statuesque blonde girl. She's a blonde girl and she's cute. It just, I don't know what they expected. And I think that maybe people have knives out for James Gunn right now. I don't know why he, it's like the whole Batman thing, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. I think James Gunn is in that villain role right now. I just don't think people always talk about superhero fatigue, but I think that, obviously Spider-Man is getting a huge amount of buzz and it's going to make a shitload of money. I think that certain characters are golden, like Spider-Man's a golden character. People want to see Spider-Man. And I think, and this is just my theory, maybe DC should have put out another movie before Supergirl, another bigger legacy character, and then slid into Supergirl, just kind of like maybe Marvel did with
redo the Flash.
Yeah,
make it
just like Marvel did with Captain Marvel. Her movie made a lot of money, but they waited until the universe was more established before they brought that one out. So I don't know. There's all sorts of issues or things that could have come up. I doubt if the movie is as bad as people are saying. But I think people just have the pitchforks and torches out.
I can honestly say I'm not looking forward to Jason Momoa
as Lobo.
Lobo.
And that's
he turned Aquaman into him.
Yeah,
he likes riding around on motorcycles and drinking Guinness. God damn it! No,
and Lobo is like a character for fanboys. You know what I mean? I don't think the common person's going to be like, oh yeah, Lobo. I remember Lobo.
Yeah, I remember Lobo. Yeah.
Yeah, it just, most people are like, what? Who's this? Why is Jason Momoa in this? Why does he look like a wolf? What's going on? Wasn't he Aquaman? What's going on? Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, so strange.
Cause some confusion or whatever. Yeah, I'll see it, but I don't know if I'll see it in the theater. Just been kind of busy.
I'm debating about seeing it in the theater. I mean, I think if I get the time, because like tomorrow, like the days, man, so super full. I've got time off to going to be doing the lawn. And then I was going to work on it all day. And then my son was like, let's go see the new Jackass movie. How are you going to turn that down? Oh, my teenage child wants to go watch childish teenage things. Let's go.
Yeah, watch a movie with his dad. So yeah. Especially
and the great thing is that it's right next to a great taqueria. So I'm going to be able to sneak in a pretty rad burrito into that movie. It's going to be so good.
In honor of watching the Mexican soccer team play last night, which they lost, which made me sad, I got a big old carne asada plate and I was eating that, watching soccer, and which is like they lost, which was sad. And and I don't want. I'm part Mexican, so I can say this. I feel like the English players were at least 6 to 7 inches taller than every Mexican player. It made a difference.
Yeah. God was really sad. Did you watch Norway play? Oh my God, Brazil.
Yeah,
that was sad. That was sad. Holland literally just like walking and then sprints for 2 seconds. They do the ball and just smacking it with my head and score. The dude's got how many? Oh, so like Messi, Ronaldo, can't remember the other guy's name, and brought Holland, Mbappe. I can't think of how to pronounce it. Yeah. Mbappe. All like seven goals
in the tournament. Yeah,
in the World Cup. Holy
the U.S. is playing right now, and I don't even know what the score is. Let me see. It was 2-1 Belgium last time I checked, and it is now 3-1 Belgium.
Well,
which I'll keep my politics to myself. But once somebody butts in and says they helped, change the rules for somebody, then I'm all of a sudden like,
God, okay. FIFA is sucking. I'll say it. FIFA is sucking his dick. When he was sitting there bitching about, I don't have a peace prize, and FIFA's like, hey, we'll give you the FIFA peace prize. Who's a big boy? Are you a big boy? Here's your big boy prize. No, that pissed me off too. I'm actually, It's one of those things that you feel like you shouldn't be rooting against, but fuck them. Fuck them. I hope Belgium wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
I wouldn't even have accepted that. To accept it would have been, it's like, no, sorry. No, not going to do it. Fuck them, Eric. Fuck them all.
All right. Back to Jaws 2. When did you first see this movie?
I saw this on TV. This was like a Sunday, one of those like Sunday, Monday night movies. It had to be like 82 or 83 when I saw this. Because I had seen the original Jaws, and this one came out and was not one that parents were going to end up taking me to. But this one I saw on network TV.
So everything is like,
because I didn't have cable, Eric. Okay, thanks. I'll put it out there. I didn't have cable. All right. Tell us about your cable now.
I did not see this on cable. I saw this at the Valley Drive-In on on the 4th of July. It had to be like 1980 or 81 because the movie was playing on a double feature with Friday the 13th Part 2 on Friday on New Year's Eve, which is on 4th of July. I keep saying New Year's Eve on the 4th of July, and they showed fireworks in between Jaws 2 and then Friday the 13th, which was pretty cool.
At the Valley Drive-In?
At the Valley Drive-In, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because the Valley Drive-In was the one that was in the middle of the town in Farmington.
Yeah.
And there was the Apache Twin that was more on the west side of town.
More on the outside of town.
But the Valley Drive-In had 4th of July fireworks, and we watched Jaws 2, and it freaked me out. I just remember that I saw Jaws 2 before I saw Jaws, so this is the original version of the movie that was stuck in my mind. I just remember those kids being stuck on the rafts together, and then some of them just getting pulled one at a time, and the girls freaking out, especially the one blonde girl who was all just
would not shut up.
Would not shut up. Yeah, shark.
I really thought we were going to see some good old fashioned domestic violence at that point. I'm like, well, it was a different time. I wonder.
It just reminds me
snap out of it. Wham! I was just waiting for one of those.
Well, I just think of that part in Airplane where everybody in line and they gets in line on the airplane and they're smacking there. One guy's boxing gloves, the other guy has like a wrench. But it just kills me. I love that part.
I'm always struck. I worked where I work. We had a therapist, a psychologist, and a therapist that would come in to talk to people and just kind of be on site. And there was a horrible accident. And someone got hurt, eventually passed away from the injuries. But one of the people there was just screaming. EMS gets there, screaming. And she walks over, takes her by the arm. And this is a therapist, by the way, and just looks at her. I'll never forget this. She goes, "Has any of this helped?" I was like, fucking A.
Jeez.
This is like if my father had become a therapist. You're sad? You know what's sad? Lawns when they're not mowed.
That's like Mexican therapy. Go outside and play. Rub some dirt on it. If you're so bored, wash the dishes.
I've ever sent you that guy, the comedian, what you having? What you having? Oh, I've got kidney failure. You know why? Pero because your room is dirty. I had a cousin. He had the same thing because his room was dirty. Have I not sent you any of his stuff?
No, it doesn't sound familiar. That sounds familiar to me because that was my life. You didn't have time to be depressed because you're too busy doing other shit.
If you have got time to lean, you have got time to clean.
Exactly. There's too much to do to be depressed.
This guy's great. He and his wife do like comedy bits. I'll have to send it to you.
So the movie was immediately put in. The executives wanted a sequel immediately because to how big and successful the first one was. Spielberg didn't want to come back. Obviously, Richard Dreyfuss didn't want to come back. And Roy Scheider kind of got hooked into doing it because he was originally going to be in the Deer Hunter, but had issues on the set and backed out. And Universal was like, "Hey, you either do this movie or you do, we're going to, pull your contract. You got to do this movie and we'll make a deal with you. If you do Jaws 2, then you can get out of your 2-picture deal." So he did Jaws 2 and he was protesting all the way through it. But like the good workman that he is, he didn't. I don't feel like he mailed in his performance. I thought he did decently, but he did not. He even faked having mental problems and trashed his hotel room just trying to get out of doing it. But they're like, nope, still got to go, still got to show up to the set. Part of the movie was shot on Amity Island, like the original, but then the locals were like, okay, we've had enough, so they wound up shooting all the water sequences in Florida. So part of it looks like New England, part of it looks like Florida. So
Florida,
yeah. They had a lot of problems with the shark because the original 2 sharks from the first movie were rusty, so they had to redo the sharks. And I think the sharks look more plastic in this one to me.
There were some times when they were bumping into stuff and they were flexing in really weird ways. I think the most disturbing thing of the whole, I mean, there's a few foibles. There's a few foibles, but number one, I loved the look of the camera and the color and like the audio. I fucking loved it. Just the audio quality, so great. I fucking loved it. It was fun to watch for that. But I think the thing that was the most disturbing, and the sharks, yeah, definitely there were some issues with that. But Roy Scheider's legs in his cutoffs, that was like, Roy, you skipping leg day, my man. I get you.
Just skinny legs, yes.
Yeah, just do some toe raises, couple squats, maybe get yourself a kettlebell, my man.
I agree with you. The movie looked great. It was high budget. It was $20 million, which is a lot of money. For 1978. It made $102 million in the US and then made $208 million worldwide. So it was a big success. It wasn't as much a success as the first one, but still made a shitload of money, which led to Jaws 3, which we should probably do someday in 3D, which is, it's so bad.
It's got to be Michael Caine, man. If we're going to do another one, I got to have some.
Yeah, we got to do that one too.
One of the greatest deliveries of a line in all of cinema. Michael Caine on the wing of that airplane. Oh shit! And then here comes the shark.
So the first director was dismissed, and I watched a making of part of it, and the producers are just like, he just wasn't the right guy for the job. He was too slow shooting the action, and his vision of the movie was a lot darker and slower. So they're like, nope, we got to rewrite this. So the whole sequence with the jet on the water skis was shot while they're rewriting the script. They sent the director out going, shoot something exciting while we work on the script. And it took a couple of, like a week or so to shoot that scene where the lady inadvertently douses herself with gasoline for some reason. That part always cracks me up.
That remind the infomercials. Like, does cutting a cucumber trouble you? Can you not with any regular kitchen knife? And the person's trying to do it, and then their hands fly up in the air and shit goes everywhere. That was her. That was where her real talent lied, was those infomercials.
Like when you're carrying a bucket and like you're scrubbing stuff for you're going to wash your car, and then you're like, everything flies away, and then like, use this new hose and sprayer and stuff. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You said hose.
Hose. Where's the hose at? Anyway, so they changed everything quite a bit, which caused the budget to increase because they had to reshoot a bunch of things. But like I said, 20 million budget, 102 million domestic, 208 million worldwide. Still one of the biggest hits of 1978. And I'm going to go on record saying I love movies from the 70s just for everything that's around it. I love 70s style restaurants, 70s arcades, like the arcades or amusement parks and shit like that. And then like the condominium or hotels they're making. And so I just love that aesthetic. I just it reminds me of growing up and just the way that looks. I just love that look.
You know what's crazy is my wife was saying the exact same thing. She's like, oh, don't you wish we could go back to the 70s? Just look at everything. Don't you like, okay, yeah, in some ways, yes. In some ways, yes. But I would like to have some autonomy because the 70s were basically me just doing everything I was told.
Oh, yeah, same here. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I lived through 7 years of the 70s. And I think you and I are in the sweet spot of our ages because we lived through the 70s enough to remember them.
Oh, yeah.
Came of age in the 80s, like, as teenagers. And in the 90s, we started our early adulthood, and but we're still young enough to remember, grunge and all that kind of stuff. And everything continued. This is the nice 8 years of peace and prosperity of the Clinton administration, and then the 2000s happened and everything has just been topsy-turvy since then. Early internet with America Online and Earthlink and, Kazaa and LimeWire.
And you had to get the disc. It was the disc that you popped in that would get you hooked up to the internet right there.
Yeah. You've got mail. But yeah. And so cell phones were simple. You had your Nokia with the T9 texting where you had to A, B, B, C, D, E, F, that kind of stuff. And you had to go sit down. And, as we see in all these movies, you had to go to the library and look at microfiche if you wanted to research anything.
You know what I miss about
GPT to look up things.
You know what I miss about those cell phones is people actually holding them up to their ear to speak.
Yes.
Now everybody holds it out in front of them with it on speaker.
Yeah.
I don't want to I don't want to fucking hear your conversation or walking around with the other person on a video call.
Yeah.
That would annoy the shit out of me. Like, are you so lazy that you can't hold your goddamn phone to your ear? I have been the grouchy old guy at the gym and gone over and told no one wants to hear your conversation. Shut the fuck up.
Can you not pose on this piece of equipment for 30 minutes? Somebody else wants to use it.
Oh, that too. God, that annoys me. I got two reasons that really bothers me. Okay. This is reason number one.
Oh, your pectorals.
Yeah. You see those? They move, Eric.
They move up and down. Yeah.
You know why they move for you? Because they love you, Eric. That's why.
So going back to the cast, Roy Scheider returns as Chief Martin Brody. Lorraine Gary returns as his wife Ellen. Murray Hamilton is the mayor. Jeff Mascolo is Len Peterson, the shady real estate developer who is pretty much pulling the strings now. Is it me or do the kids grow up at a weird rate? Like they're way older now than they would be from the first movie, even though 4 years have passed.
Yeah, it was a little bit strange, but also they annoyed the fuck out of me, and I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, because you're grounded, you can't go sailing, and then you take your little brother, and then you put him in danger. Now he's got PTSD for the rest of his life, and you bonk your head, and then you're floating around like a dinghy until you get pulled out.
That was not the parental experience I had when the kid fucked up, and he's like, "Oh no, give me a hug. It's just good to see you. Oh, I love you so much." I'd have gotten the hug, and then you'd have to start ducking because the hot one would be coming right after that. Oh, you thank God you're safe now. I'm going to hurt you.
You want to hit us with the critical consensus?
Yes. All right. Throughout the years, the film has received mixed reviews, though it is widely regarded as the best of the three Jaws sequels. So as you start that sentence, it sounds frightening, like they're going to say something real stupid, but then they say of the sequels, and completely understandable. Mm-hmm. The review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes reports an approval rating of 56% based on 43 reviews, and the site's critical consensus reads, Jaws 2 never approaches the lingering thrills of its classic predecessor, but it's reasonably entertaining for a sequel that has no reason to exist. With a weighted average Metacritic, I hate that they even had to explain why Richard Dreyfuss wasn't there. Like, this movie could have been better, but guess what? Maybe we got to find a reason to say he's not coming in. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, exactly. He's on a expedition or something, or on a research mission for.
We can't reach him for like 6 months. So you think you could just hang on, maybe? Anyway, Metacritic gave it 51 out of 100, and that's based on 12 reviews. That indicates mixed or average. Critic John Kenneth Muir comments that opinions towards Jaws 2 depend upon which side of the series it is being compared. Against Spielberg's original, it is an inferior sequel to a classic, but comparison to the subsequent films, Jaws 3D and Jaws the Revenge, shows Swark's film to be a decent sequel and one produced before the franchise hit troubled waters.
Troubled waters.
Troubled waters. Oh, what an asshole. Jaws 2, he says, is at the deep end of the pool.
Got to do all these water metaphors.
Oh no, it gets better. It gets better. Then it's two shallow follow-ups. See what he's doing there?
Shallow, yes.
Yes, and there's enough of Jaws' lingering greatness floating about to make it an entertaining and exciting 2 hours.
I don't think exciting for 2 hours. Not definitely.
Not exciting. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
But I would not say exciting. Variety labeled it an excellent sequel, and DVD Authority says after this one, the other Jaws movies seem to just not be as good. One review says it's obviously not a patch on Spielberg's classic, but it's about as good as could be hoped for, with some excellent sequences almost worthy of the original, several genuine shocks, a different enough story, and some pretty decent characters. The performances of Scheider, Gary, and Hamilton have been particularly praised. Among contemporary reviews, Roger Ebert described the film as pure trash. Gene Siskel gave it 2.5. I'm sorry. The other dude at least had some like ocean water puns, but you're just like garbage. Gene Siskel gave it a 2.5 stars out of 4 in his print review, writing that the film is worth watching only when its leading player is on camera, and that when the teenage characters were not being attacked, Jaws 2 offers teenage action even less more inspired than Beach Blanket Bingo.
So this is funny. I happened to watch the Siskel and Ebert review of Angel. And
you were fucking bored this week. You had a lot of time.
Gene Siskel hated Angel. Roger Ebert, he liked it. And it's so funny to hear Roger Ebert defend Angel. You got to watch that on YouTube if you haven't seen it. It's
I'll have to look it up. Some of the action sequences have been well staged, but they've been dropped into the film so indiscriminately that Jaws 2 never builds to a particular climax. It simply drones on and on like a television movie. Someone also made a mistake in showing us so much of the mechanical shark so early in the film. Charles Champlin of the Los Angeles Times stated, maybe because familiarity breeds indifference, the more you see of the shark this time, the more it seems to have wandered away from the Universal Studios tour. Man-made and mechanical. Tom Pauline of the Monthly Film Bulletin wrote, less a sequel than a remake, Jaws 2 is a tiresomely foregone conclusion to anyone who has seen Spielberg's film. Even worse, since the events of the first film are acknowledged, in this one, the refusal of the mayor and council to act on Brody's warning a second time around makes them appear idiotic to a degree that effectively sabotages any halfway serious dramatic interest.
Like we said before, it's more plausible now than maybe it was in the back then. But
maybe
people putting their heads in the sand and denying the truth seems to be way more in vogue now than it was back then.
Yeah, way more. George Morris of the Texas Monthly preferred Jaws 2 over the original because he is not a smart man. It is less insidious in its methods of manipulation, and because director Gene Swark streamlines the terror by cross-cutting among the teenagers, Scheider, and the officials' efforts to rescue them, Swark works up enough suspense to keep the adrenaline going. What the fuck is wrong with you, George Morris?
Yeah, first one is way better. I mean, just...
However, Morris's review is not entirely complimentary. Yeah, you can't come back from what you just said, though, dude. No matter, there's no diss that you're going to throw into this that's going to redeem what you just said. He would have preferred the shark to have been seen less. Posting producers and audiences alike have forgotten that the greatest suspense derives from the unseen and the unknown, that the imagination is capable of conceiving far worse than the materialization of a mere mechanical monster. Similarly, John Simon felt that the shark's waning is caused by a decline in direction. Jeannot Swark has none of Steven Spielberg's manipulative cleverness. For one thing, he allows us close and disarming close-ups of the shark almost immediately. A reviewer for the BBC complained that the additional screen time awarded to the shark makes it seem far less terrifying than its almost mystical contemporary. David Parkinson's of Radio Times awarded it 2 out of 5, calling it a pale imitation of the classic original, and stating that the suspense comes unglued because the film floats in all too familiar waters. You just know how everyone is going to react, from the stars to the director and even the mechanical sharks. And although many critics identify some flaws, often comparing Swark negatively to Spielberg, DVD.net states that this sequel does have some redeeming qualities going for that. It makes a good movie in its own right. Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw are missed, especially since the teenage characters are labeled largely annoying after-school special archetypes who are irritating and incessantly screaming. Amen, brother.
Yes, true.
And don't make for very sympathetic victims. No teenager in any film ever has made for a sympathetic victim. That's why you go to these movies with teenagers in it, because you know they're going to get offed.
Yes.
Because of its emphasis upon the teenage cast, some critics have compared the film to the popular slasher films that would soon follow. Almost like a statement I heard you make. Also comparing the film's interchangeable teens to slasher films, particularly the Friday the 13th franchise, Muir says that it feels wrong for a Jaws film to dwell in that shallow domain. Oh, he had to do it.
Yep.
He had to do it. However, the critic also commends the teen characters' comradeship and heroism, citing the character Marge, who is killed when saving Sean Brody from the shark. The film's tagline, "Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water," has become one of the most famous in film history. Andrew J. Cohn, who developed the film's first trailer, is credited with coining the phrase. It has been parodied in numerous films, notably the tagline of the 1996 feature film adaptation of the television series Flipper. This summer, it's finally safe to go back in the water.
So I enjoy this movie the last 45 minutes. It takes a long time to get to where things are good. And I mean, there's a few kills here and there interspersed in the movie. Of course, you got to have your opening kill where the two divers are checking out the remains of the orca, and then they get taken out, by the shark, and the camera falls. And maybe there's pictures and all that kind of stuff. Just basically, the same. And this reminds me a lot of Halloween 2 in the sense that it's basically a retread of the first movie done a little less well enough to be entertaining, but not well enough to be like, that's a classic. It's kind of treads that same water. Sorry. Damn.
No. What would have been even worse is if, let's say someone decided to make a Jaws film with the premise that the shark recognizes who you are and will swim across the world just to fuck with you because it hates your family so much for what you did to all your other shark friends. That would make it even worse.
Like Jaws 4.
Oh. Maybe I need to rewatch that.
If we do Jaws 3 eventually, I'll just say it's one of the things that really reminds me of Jaws 3 is watching it on HBO and going, why is this move so slow? Why are the stuff, because it's supposed to be 3D, but we never saw it in 3D. And they shoot so much shit for 3D that it looks really bad, especially at the end when the shark is floating towards the glass, when it's going to break the glass. It looks just like a plastic shark you get at at an aquarium or something like that. It looks so fucking bad. So bad. But
and for no reason, things swing into the foreground.
Yeah.
It just comes zoop straight by. There's just no reason for it.
Friday the 13th Part 3, when they're like playing with yo-yos, juggling apples, and popping popcorn, or hanging up stuff. There's all sorts of things that. Here's an eyeball. I'm going to point it towards the camera. The only 3D movie I remember seeing during the 3D trend is a movie called Coming at You, or Coming at Ya. And it was the first kind of 3D movie, and it was just a vehicle of different scenes where it's like a Western basically, but we saw it at the movie theater in Aztec when it was open for a short period of time. And the sound was terrible. I think it was even in Spanish, maybe, I don't know, but we watched it, and they gave us popcorn on a paper plate. That's how high budget
that's how they did that at that place.
That place was, but the water skiing accident is pretty memorable because it's basically the cover of the poster where the Jaws, the shark is coming out of the water, and the girl's on the water, on the water skis, oblivious to the giant shark behind them. But that part is hilarious because of the lady who, the water skier gets dragged underwater, and then it hits the boat, and she tries to pour gasoline on herself. It was really not clear. And then she uses a flare gun, and then the flare gun causes the boat to explode like it's filled with 100 pounds of dynamite. I don't know.
And it gives us we get the Phantom of the Opera shark after that, kind of coming by with his burn.
Yeah, the shark is burnt now, and it's got a big scar, big burn scar for the rest of the movie.
Getting burned and then back into the salty water. Oof.
Yeah, that's probably doesn't very good. So, but they have the whole subplot where his wife is working with a developer, and the developer is like kind of too sweet on her. Oh, she's a hell of a woman, or it's just that's weird. Work was different back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day,
I did like Brody when he, of course, is freaking out because shit happened. But when he decides to clear the beach, Brody does not fuck around when he decides to clear a beach. The pistol's out. He's running like the Wild West. That was awesome.
And he's shooting his special bullets that he makes with the, the cyanide or whatever it is, where he drops the cyanide with a hollow point
into the hollow points,
and then puts a little bit of the wax on top of it so it'll keep the cyanide inside. Oh, so that was cool as shit. But I don't know how practical they are, if they would work or not, or what it does. But
or if the wax would melt on firing. I
don't know if that works or not, but it seems cool.
How much would be left behind with the hollow point?
Yeah.
Would it all blast back out the back? I don't know. The shark's pretty big. It might stay in there. We don't need to talk about that.
Oh, well, this is the reason you think that Brody would get fired, because he looks like a fucking maniac in front of the city council and everybody, where he's just firing indiscriminately into a school of bluefish or whatever they were.
What they should have done in Jaws 3 was in Amity had a large bronze statue of Brody with a plaque that just said, "I fucking told you."
Yeah, exactly. Because that is we've talked about it already. It's just the city council doesn't believe him. And we're like, hey, remember when I bailed you this whole city out? Remember that? When Quint died and everybody else died and it was, the whole thing? Oh, no, whatever. Well, fuck you. I'm leaving. Get somebody else to deal with this shit. I'm taking my family and going.
Yeah, we'll hit the bricks, fellas.
Yeah. So he gets fired, and they promote his kind of dumb second in command to the chief. And then, of course, Sean and Mike go out against the wishes of the dad, and then all the other disposable teens go onto the boat and rafting and stuff like that. And
that sounds like a sad movie. Sad book they would have made us read in junior high.
Disposable teens.
Disposable teens.
That sounds like a punk band. Hey, we're the disposable teens.
Can I tell you my ideal name for a band?
All right.
Impotent.
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 Is this going to be a bunch of like?
No, I think how great that would be at the end of every show is that the lead guy would have to go, "Thanks everybody, we are impotent." I think it'd be a fucking fantastic name for a band.
My favorite name for a fictional metal band would be Stool Softener. They just play so loud and heavy that it just, causes you motility that you've never had before, because we're Stool Softener. No.
Don't get in the front row. You'll never make it.
Stool Softener. Yeah.
I've seen some shit at some death metal shows, like literal and figuratively. that would be a good one. I like it.
So the girl, Tina, she's cute girl, blonde girl. I mean, and this is me commenting on ladies again, but I love that kind of natural, just unpolished look back then. You know what I mean? They didn't have lip fillers or anything like that. It was just natural looking chicks with teeth that hadn't been capped yet, just looking normal. That was my.
We should do a drinking game for this every time. Oh, this is a cute girl. This is blah blah blah. And again, you have a very specific type.
I do.
Very very specific.
Mm-hmm. Petite blondes, is that what you're saying?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I'm very doing. Yeah. So her boyfriend Eddie swim, Eddie swim. He gets killed. Then they find her on the boat, and she's all fucked up. They take her back to the mainland, and Brody's out on his boat by himself, and he hates water, which is kind of interesting quirk for somebody who lives on an island.
Lives on an island. This is the sheriff on the island. Yeah.
So this made me think of my life in New Mexico, far, far, far away from any sort of water. Maybe a lake or two here or there, but the kids have skills that I can't comprehend. The ability to tie all these knots and do all the rigging and all that kind of stuff like that. It's just a skill set that a kid from northern New Mexico has absolutely no idea about. You know, makes me want to learn how to tie some knots. Go back to like the Boy Scout manual and do that kind of stuff.
Joe has gotten a hankering for fishing. Mm-hmm. Did I send you some? Did I send you pictures of the spots?
Yep. You've mentioned
there's so many beautiful, beautiful spots out here. But man, I was the same way though. When I had a chance, it's like, wait, I can move somewhere where grass is green. You don't have to necessarily water it, and there's tons of trees and an ocean. Shit, I'm there. Mm-hmm. And the weird thing is, I still miss New Mexico. I miss the desert. But when I'm out there, I'm like, fucking dry, man. What the hell's going on with this? This is horrible. And then second you drive out of the state and you start getting to the humidity and you start dropping down where the air is a little bit thicker. You're like, God, fuck. Why would I ever miss this? Oh, I do miss it. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Yeah. But anyway, the knots. My wife got him a flashcard little ring and put in his tackle box for how to tie certain knots.
Nice. That's cool.
Well, Joe he calls it the dad knot, where you just you make the circle and you flip it through.
Yeah.
And I flip it through like 12 times, and that's how I tie on my lure and start throwing it out, trying to find some bass.
Yeah, I think that's the basic knot that you taught me how to tie a tie. I still remember that one way to tie a tie. I don't have any other way to do it. I just the basic Windsor.
Half Windsor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know three ways to tie it. I was going to throw it out there. Nobody, it doesn't do me any good. I fucking wear t-shirts to work and it's glorious, but I know how to tie a tie.
So all the kids get trapped and then they're all fucked up. The one girl is just screaming and screaming and screaming. One of them gets picked off, and the part where the shark gets the helicopter is fucking hilarious.
So good.
It's so good. It's so hilarious. Just funny as hell.
They didn't have the money. They did not have the money for that shark to take out the helicopter if it was hovering.
Yeah.
So they had to bring him down because we can't get the mechanical shark out of the water like that, fellas. Sorry.
I like the beard on the pilot. He had the nice Amish thing going on there, just around here, but nothing on the. It was interesting. The Sean falls in the water. Marge sacrifices herself. One of them gets bit on the side. So they had like Chekhov's cable at the beginning of the movie where they're like, they're pulling things and they pull this big power line out of the water, and you're like, oh, okay, that's going to play into the movie later on, and of course it does, where he convinces the shark to bite the cable. And all the sparks happen. Don't you think Brody would have been burnt up? His little rubber raft was a little too close to the cable where the shark bit into it. And I love the sharks just catching on fire, eyes popping out, and just that was awesome. I remember that as a kid so distinctly. I was like, "Holy shit, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen!" And then watching it again on basic cable or they replay it again, like you said, like an ABC Sunday Night Movie or something where they played that and really digging it. But yeah, I think Jaws 2 is entertaining. If you can sit through the first half, you'll be all right. A few things happen in the first half, but it gets much better once the kids get on the water. It's true. It turns into like a slasher type movie.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I've a fantastic idea to make this film better. Go to a hypnotist, right? Erase in your mind any memory of Jaws.
Yeah.
Okay. And watch this movie And you're like, not a bad shark flick. This is okay. And then maybe 4 or 5 years later, after telling everybody, have you seen Jaws 2? Why is it called Jaws 2? And then show you Jaws. And then all of a sudden you're like, where's this movie been my whole life? Perfect.
Well, and I think that's the big differences in the Spielberg's movies, that the whole town is a character. The established old people, and just everybody has a fucking opinion, and they're talking to Brody all the time, and just the interaction between Quint and Brody. And what was Richard Dreyfuss's character? Matt? Was it like Matt or something like that?
Sure. You know what? It's Matt now.
Yeah, is that they had just their interactions together on the boat, and how bossy and drunk Quint was all the time, and then him telling the story of the USS Indianapolis, and the speech about the shark's eyes. It's missing some of that kind of like acting moments. They kind of jettison all that for, let's just keep the shark.
Let's make an action movie.
Yeah,
let's make an ocean slasher film.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It is entertaining. I recommend it, especially if you have seen 3 and 4, and you haven't seen 2, watch 2. It'll redeem your idea of the sequels.
3 and 4, and I've seen both. Yeah. I've seen 3 and 4.
Let's talk about a little bit of the Jaws ripoffs that came out. There was one called Tintorera, another one called The Last Shark that was so similar to Jaws that Universal successfully sued to halt its release in the U.S. Jaws 3D, Jaws of Revenge, killer sea creature films like Tentacles, Orca, Up from the Depths. Humanoids from the Deep is not really, I don't think, a Jaws ripoff. This is mutant fishmen who come to spawn with the ladies of the of the town. It is so exploitative and funny. If you have ever never seen it, it's worth checking out. It's just a grim, fishmen ripping women's bikinis off and stuff like that. It's so just bizarre. I do remember,
and that was because since we were talking. No, I'm going to interrupt because this is what we were talking about. We talked about, being born in the early 70s, remembering the 70s, and then coming of age in the 80s, and that's all the 80s was boobs in cinema for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
Just you know what? Oh, yeah, it's been about 15 minutes. Anybody got a pair they want to have on the screen? Let's go.
And there was always a sex scene in movies, whether they needed it or not. There's at least one. And yeah, there was just copious nudity in that era.
That was the decade to know how to play the saxophone, my guy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Monster Shark, Grizzly, Day of the Animals, Piranha.
I saw Grizzly.
Yeah. And Cujo we're going to do in 2 weeks. I wonder if we should move Cujo up and do Cujo next. Yeah, let's just do Cujo next.
Do Cujo?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just do some killer animals.
Do some killer animals and Razorback. So Cujo is next week. We made that decision right as we're talking. You hear it first. Cujo next week.
So now there's 6 people that know. The 4 people Cujo that listen and us.
Maybe David, but yeah.
No, David ain't listening to shit.
That's true. He's listening to Squirrel's Mate somewhere. But talking about wildfires, man, there's one of the biggest ones in Colorado history is going on right now in the Aspen Acre Fire south of Pueblo near.
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Like 90,000 acres of fire. That's crazy as hell. Still, morons are setting off fireworks in the neighborhood.
Sounded like Fallujah at our house.
Oh yeah,
but I live right smack dab in the middle of a huge city, so.
I have all these feeds on Instagram, and I basically call them hood missiles, where these guys get these gigantic fireworks, and then they like malfunction and shoot down into the neighborhood, and you hear car alarms and stuff going off. And, yeah,
hood missiles. I love that.
My final thoughts: Jaws 2, worth checking out. It is not as good as Jaws 1, but it's still passable. It's like a comfort food movie. If you've seen it before and it's on, you're like, shit, I'm going to watch this movie and see this giant shark eat people. It's fun. Any final remarks from you, Neil?
This is not a movie to be set aside lightly. This is a movie to be thrown with great force.
All right. I was watching a thing about slasher retrospectives, and they always bring up Black Christmas, and I just always remember how much
I hate that movie. God, that movie's so bad. just even thinking about it, I have a visceral reaction. It just makes me, ugh.
If you want to send us an email, send us to rvspodcast222@gmail.com. We're on the Instagram. We're on the Facebook. I'll be a little bit better about posting. Just we had a little lull there when we missed the episode, and then I just need to get back in that social mode. If you want to contribute to the cause, go to buymeacoffee.com. And if you send us an email, we'll read it and take your suggestions. And we appreciate everybody listening, and we hope you have a good week.
Yeah, have a good week, everybody. Watch some Cujo.
Yes, Cujo next week.
Thank you for listening to the Retro Video Store Podcast.